your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Tomorrow, Friday, February 1st, what was the Customs and Immigration Departments will now become the Customs, Border Control and Work Agencies. Border Control officers will don new uniforms and work in sync with work on keeping our borders and islands as safe as possible. At a staff event on Wednesday morning, government dignitaries and other senior officials spoke to those in the room.
It is a privilege that we have to serve our government, our people, and each other. That is something that we must take very seriously. So before I go further, I want to sincerely thank all of you, and I mean this, profoundly thank all of you for the great work that you've been doing over the last few years, especially the last year, when our happy or not ratings at the airport, thousands and thousands of people have pressed those buttons. At the airport, it is almost 90%. Give yourselves a round of applause.
But you guys are fantastic. You're terrific, you're remarkable, impressive, extraordinary, phenomenal. If the folks in this room stopped doing what they're doing, the country would come to a halt, without a doubt. Businesses wouldn't be able to get work, you couldn't go through the airports, you couldn't import any goods, we couldn't eat. No passports, no work for our up-and-coming young people. The services that you deliver are amazing.
I just want to encourage each one of you. I know this year, well, this past year in particular, has been a tumultuous year in so many respects, because at Immigration and at Customs, you all have lost colleagues. Even now, we have staff who are not here with us because they're suffering medical challenges. And so those are the more personal challenges that you all have had to face in the past year. You've had backlogs, grumpy customers, any number of things that can throw you off track. But I'm amazed at the tenacity and resilience of each one of you to take on all those challenges and to beat them.
CBC Director-designate Mr. Charles Clifford talked about these being exciting and historical times as those in the room become the first border control officers in the Cayman Islands and the last to be called customs and immigration officers. Long-serving immigration official Mr. Gary Wong touched on what he's looking forward to the most.
Change is a wonderful opportunity for growth. Making new associations, creating healthy relationships, but most of all, providing the best service to the people and visitors of the Cayman Islands. Having spent the last 35 years with the Immigration Department as we presently know it, I am excited to see the seemingly endless possibilities that exist with the creation of the new entity Work, as well as with the merger of Immigration and Customs to form CBC, as well as the Passport and Corporate Office.
I know that you all are clear on the mission, because that's how we've outlined it. That's what this is all about. Ensuring that we remain a safe and prosperous country. Everything that we do at the end of the day is for that purpose.
Meantime, leaders with the CBC Work, as well as the Ministry of Human Resources and Immigration, will extend its public information and education campaign to ensure all who are impacted by the changes are fully aware of the laws and the new regulations. The Passport and Corporate Office will remain a part of the ministry as a standalone department, and during the initial stages of the transition, services for the CBC and Work will continue to be offered from their current locations. Well, finally, the Department of Sports joins the Cayman Islands Government Wellness Committee to hold a free Zumba class. Dozens of civil servants and other invited residents enjoyed the class held outside the Government Administration Building on Wednesday evening. part of the Every Step Counts Pedometer Challenge, everyone, including the public, were invited to have fun and to burn off some calories at the same time. Conducting the class were representatives from the School of Fitness. And that ends today's news update here on CIGTV. If you missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as our CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, wishing you a safe and wonderful evening, inviting you back here again tomorrow to join me. But until then, have a safe and wonderful night. And bye-bye for now.
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have on-board flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department, as a planning and permit application may be required?
CIGTV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News update first at 6 p.m.